so fight, 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 fight!
71-58 the final in the first round of the WNIT Thursday. The Cardinals season comes to a close in Bloomington. The first time the Cardinals and Hoosiers met since 2010, and the Cardinals dug themselves an early hole. 18-4 Indiana led in the first 5:30, but the Cardinals with huge fight. They closed the first half on a 14-3 run that closed the gap to 11 points, and the Cardinals had 3 opportunities to slice that into single figures before heading into the locker room. Defensively, they held Indiana to just 1 field goal in the last 5:45 of the half. Cardinals had another surge late in the second half when a Mariah Monaco 3 cut it to 8 with 3:42 to play, but Ball State would get no closer. Overall, Cardinals defense forced 18 turnovers, came up with 5 blocks and 8 steals. A strong effort for the Cardinals, who just dug themselves too big of a climb early.
There's clearly a lot of pride in our jerseys tonight, and we just dug ourselves too much of a hole, and you give Indiana a lot of credit for that. But at the end of the day, you step back and you're awful proud of your team's fight, and we put a little pressure on them, and a few shots go down, and I think we had a 3 and a layup in there, and boy, it could have put a whole lot of pressure on them. But again, you go back to that first quarter, and man, you'd like to have a little bit of that over.
After the first half and putting ourselves in that situation, we just kept fighting play by play, getting stops, and sometimes the rebound we didn't get the rebound, so that didn't help. But we basically just had nothing to lose, and listen, we were going to fight for another one.
Just trying to give your team every chance, and I really liked our execution in those moments, whether it be in the press or where we were turning them over, or there in the second half where we were running offensively, we were running some good stuff and got some really good looks. And that's really where your focus is, and you're just trying to give your team every chance.
If you can get it under 10 at any point, 10 is a mental difference. So, we were right there, but then they came back and got to 11. So that was kind of hard. And then getting back to 8 and then 6, which we never did. We just couldn't, so.
Also of note from Thursday, the final game in the careers of the 3 Ball State seniors, Renee Bennett, Jill Morrison, and Kaylin Jose, part of Brady Sallee's very first recruiting class at Ball State that really laid the foundation for Coach Sallee's vision, what Ball State as a program has become today and what it can still become in the future.
We walked into a locker room and we talked about what got us beat, and I thank those 3, but I don't know that it's hit me. Because you think about it, 90% of my time here has had those kids on the floor, so yeah, it'll hit me a little bit in the postseason probably, and as we step back and think about this. But you can't in an interview sum up what those 3 mean to the program. They signed here before we'd ever won a game, before I'd ever coached a game. They bought into a vision. They bought into hope.
Jill, just a great shooter overall. Since her 4 years she's been here, she's been able to light it up, and I'm really going to miss her, and just the spunk that she gives us when, even though when she's not hitting, she's still doing stuff for us, and Benny just being in the paint, points in the paint, we're going to miss that a lot. Her having 25 and 9, and then Kaylin's defense, love them to death.
At the end of the day, not the end result the Cardinals wanted here at Assembly Hall, but to use Brady Sallee's words from the end of last season's MAC tournament, anytime you win 20 games and you go to a postseason and it's just another good year, well, that's not a bad thing. It means the bar's been raised, and in Muncie, it certainly has. To close out the 2016-17 women's basketball season, and really basketball season in general for the Cardinals, here at Assembly Hall, I'm Joel Godette for Ball State All Access and BallStateSports.com.